All right, what's up, guys? I'm Ryan Hagee.
I'm Max Xavier.
This is Touchdowns and Tough Crowds. Welcome back.
Thank you for coming back, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see for the following weeks.
So this week, unfortunately, someone in my household contracted the COVID-19, possibly. Everyone else tested negative, so we're waiting to hear back. We might be back in the studio again next week, but this is what we're looking at right now. We just want to make sure we got some content out there for you guys and just to keep the channel rolling. So
All right.
this is the situation. We're going to go from here. We're going to start off with power rankings,
As
of
per
course, as we
usual.
always do, as per usual. And at number one this week, I've got the Steelers.
Oh boy.
Yep. I think it's time. Everyone keeps telling me that the Steelers don't win by a lot. We don't blow people out, and that's why we're number two, right? But for the past 3 weeks, the Chiefs have only won by like four. Actually, no, they played the Jets. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they played the Jets one of those 3 weeks or 4 weeks. But they beat the Panthers by four, and they just beat the Raiders by four. So, and those are two teams. Well, first of all, the Panthers are 3-7, and if they can score 31 on the Chiefs, I want to know what the Steelers are going to score on the Chiefs, because the Steelers have weapons on offense. Whether or not you want to accept it or not, we can't really run the ball, but you can throw on the Chiefs as much as you want. It's not, no one's going to stop you. So
I think
I
that's
guess that's just my
debatable.
big thing, and the Raiders, you can Patrick Mahomes had open receivers left and right against the Raiders. I don't think he's going to have that same thing against the Steelers. Personally, you know, I think it's going to be a really great game if they ever do play. Hopefully they do in the AFC Championship, because that would be awesome. I think, like, Clash of the Titans, two best teams in the NFL. But I just, you can't keep saying that the Steelers aren't as good as them just because we don't blow people out when they don't blow people out either. Unless it's the Jets. And the Steelers just played the Jaguars and they only scored 3 points.
That's the Jaguars, though. But yeah, they should have scored more than three,
But who are
regardless.
the Panthers, and even the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
they've
the
also
Jaguars, up
allowed
until the,
weak teams to score high on them.
exactly, their defense just isn't as good. And then the Bengals, we beat up on them. The Browns, we beat up on them. Of course, the Cowboys game is an anomaly. I understand. That was ugly, but they're number one for me now. I can't take them off. I'm being a little biased, I guess. I'm kind of buying into some serious hype, but they're there. They're number one.
Okay. I mean, it really comes down to whose list are you looking at when it comes to those two, because it's like an undefeated team or the previous Super Bowl champions, right? It's hard to distinguish between the two in terms of which one's better. I personally still have the Chiefs at number one, only because I've yet to see a display from either team that would make me think otherwise. I think Steelers are probably the closest second could be. But the Steelers obviously dominated against the Jaguars, but like I mentioned, they're the Jaguars. It's not like it's a super
Yeah.
impressive team to beat. It did concern me a bit that the Raiders managed to put up, what was it, 31? That was a little concerning against a
That's
defense
what I'm saying.
who's been performing decently. They're obviously
And
not one
I
of the top defenses, but they should have done better than that.
it'd be one thing if, you know, it happened every now and then. Like the Steelers, of course, one time let up 29 to the Eagles, and that was like, all right,
Well, the
that was a bad
Eagles
game. We
somehow put up 29 on almost anyone and just barely lose every game.
Yeah, it's like just teams like that, but with the Chiefs, it's every week. They let up more than 20 points. The Steelers are now the first team for best defense in the league for points allowed
That doesn't
per
surprise
week.
me at all.
It's, they just, and that's what I said going into this year, that the Steelers under Ben Roethlisberger, when they hold a team under 15, I think it is, Ben hasn't lost in his career.
It's a pretty good record to
So,
have. That
like,
means he's putting up
it's,
more than 15, obviously.
of course, and that's like, we're obviously going to put up more than 15, maybe not against the Ravens, which we'll talk about later because that's going to be an ugly game, but anyways, but I'm going to move to two because we always hang around too
We do.
long. It's the
I mean,
Chiefs, obviously.
yeah, and mine are the
We're,
Steelers, right? We literally just discussed both. It's
yeah,
Ryan's got
nothing.
Steelers Chiefs. I've got Chiefs Steelers. It's the same thing we've been talking about every week. They're both performing well. They're both offense, defense performing well. They're winning the games they need to.
It's
So
literally the tale of two teams. Like,
yeah,
legit, the Steelers have the best defense, the Chiefs have the best offense,
it's like
and at some point, it's just a collision
one of
course,
those are
right?
gonna
They're
collide. Yeah,
they're gonna meet. I hope. I really hope. That
That'd
would
be
be
cool.
really
That would be a
crazy.
good game to watch.
At number three, I got a really big one.
Okay.
The Rams.
I've got my Rams up here too, but not at 3. I'll tell you why later.
But I get it. Jared Goff's like a game mediator, but so is Tom Brady at the beginning of his career, and he's in the best offensive scheme in football right now. That's the best scheme in football.
Okay.
Sean McVay's.
Sean McVay,
It might have been
yeah.
the Ravens last year because they could run the ball so well, but
But now people know how to defend the run.
exactly, at least against the Ravens, I guess. But the Rams, their defense is slowly becoming like probably the best in the league if you think about Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, just personnel.
Oh, hands
Like
down.
I talk about the Steelers personnel all the time. We have so many first round picks and stuff, but
And they just had back-to-back weeks of beating 2 phenomenal teams, the Seahawks and the Bucks. You
two
can't bring
phenomenal
that down.
quarterbacks
2
that
phenomenal
were
quarterbacks. Yeah.
frustrated.
They held both
Frustrated.
quarterbacks to below 250 yards. Both quarterbacks, Tom Brady and Russell Wilson. Like you can't let that go unnoticed.
And so you pair really good defense with a good offensive scheme. Steelers, Rams. Though that's a good team that can go far. And the NFC is really suspect for me. The NFC in general, that whole conference.
Agreed.
So I think that if the Rams win out, they could potentially be the 1 seed.
Well, I mean,
And
right
they can
now
see them.
technically they are because divisional.
No, the Saints. No, in the NFC.
Oh, NFC.
The whole thing.
I thought you meant NFC West.
No. Well,
In
they
the
probably
whole-
could.
In the whole NFC, you think they're first if they keep up what they're doing?
Well, get this: the Saints are number one right now because
Yeah.
I think they're 8-3.
Yes,
They're
8-2.
7-3.
8-2. They've only played 10.
8-2. So Taysom Hill's starting right now. I don't know when Drew Brees is coming back, and I still like the Saints to be a good
What was
team.
it? A punctured
going
lung? Or was it?
He has fractured ribs
near the lung. That's
and
right.
and a collapsed lung.
Ooh, yeah.
So I don't know. He's a tough dude, but regardless, even if he does come back, they're relying on Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas more than they're relying on Drew Brees. But I think they could lose a few games, and if the Rams just keep winning, because I don't really see them losing. Like honestly, if they keep beating teams like the Bucks and the Seahawks, who are they going to lose to?
Chiefs.
But yeah, I don't know if they play the Chiefs, but if they did, then yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
maybe they'd beat them. Maybe we'd kind of see like what it would be like if the Chiefs played the Steelers because it's pretty similar.
It is. Yeah, a strong defense and a well organized.
I'm frozen. What it would be like if they were to play the Steelers because it's the same thing. Legit, I see the Rams and the Steelers in the same exact boat as far as what they do offensively and defensively because they have the best defense in the NFC, no doubt, because no one plays defense in the NFC.
I see the only one. No, I can't say. I would say Bucks are maybe close, but other than that, there's no one else even.
But they
near.
looked horrible.
They did. They didn't look
Like,
great.
So yeah, Rams 3 for me. I'm falling in love with them a little bit. I think they could win the whole NFC and go to a Super Bowl because
I think
there's
the
no really.
possibilities there. And they started both below the. They had a rough early season. They lost like most of their early games, and then they've only won from there. They
Yeah,
Who was it?
I didn't
They had
expect it at all.
They had a week 3 loss to the Bills, a week 6 loss to the 49ers, and then a week
To the
8
49ers.
loss. Yeah, they lost to the 49ers and the Dolphins. So they had
The Dolphins.
They had a couple early. Well, right when the Dolphins were getting hot, right when
Yeah.
Tua was coming in, and he. Was
You know,
playing
that's
well.
where I think that they could get beat at their own game, like they did in the Super Bowl against the Pats.
When
their like
defense is the one when they're against another strong defense, and
when they're trying to
outperform in offense.
No, when they get out schemed, like out coached, out like not even outplayed, out personneled, they get out coached, But yeah, year 3, we're gonna linger on the Rams for way too long.
Oh well, yeah, because Rams is my 4, but my 3 is the Saints. I got the Saints. Yeah, I know. Let me guess, you swapped it, right?
My 4 is the Saints. Yeah.
Okay. So my 3 is the Saints. Last week I had them at number 5, and obviously they just won, so there's no reason to put them lower, other than the possibility of how long Drew Brees is going to be out.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Regardless,
they're the first seed in the NFC.
Regardless, what impressed me was not the performance of Taysom Hill, although he had 2 rushing touchdowns, and like
Rushing
250 yards.
touchdowns.
Yeah, but what impressed
Rushing
me
touchdowns.
was the defense there, because while Falcons are known to butcher fourth quarter plays, the Falcons have been yet to be held below 16 points. Like Matt Ryan gets it offensively, he gets it done. It's always their defense that's letting them down, but they held an offensive, I wouldn't say an offensive power, but like a team mostly focused on offense to 9 points, right? Which was three field goals. It wasn't even a touchdown. That's what impressed me. So seeing that State's defense kind of, I wouldn't say dominate step up to the challenge of not having their starting quarterback was pretty impressive for me. So I kept them at 3.
Yeah, they're my 4 for a similar reason, just because not the defense particularly, and I think Atlanta plays offense well. I think they could win the NFC because the NFC isn't really. It doesn't scare me. I'm worried about the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Titans. Like I'm the Colts.
The Colts.
I'm worried about the AFC way more than I am about even the Raiders. Actually, I could say because they play pretty good football apparently. And I don't want to see the Patriots, the Bills. I have to say the Bills, obviously.
The Bills, yeah, the Bills are up there.
But the NFC is it's just so wide open.
That's true.
Because the AFC is it's a closed door. It's like you can't touch the Steelers, you can't touch the Chiefs. Let's try and get in below them and win at their place.
Let's get a wild card. Where the NFC is like there's open spots everywhere, right? There are what, like 5 or 6 teams all fighting for the number 1 and 2 spot right now.
Yes, and then there are 6 teams fighting just to make the wild card, and there are 4 teams fighting to win a horrible division in the NFC East.
I still don't get that.
The NFC. It'll never be as good as the AFC.
Right now. This season, correct. Something could happen in the future season, but like this season,
obviously,
the NFC is way below the AFC, hands down.
I think no matter what, like even if the Steelers aren't in the Super Bowl, even if it's the Bills, the Chiefs, or the Steelers, whoever it might be, they're going to beat the NFC team.
Agreed.
Whoever's representing the NFC conference, it's not going to go well for them. Whatever. I don't know who it's going to be, but you know. But yeah, my 4 is the Saints. Your 4 is the Rams. So we just talked about it.
Yeah.
Let's not dwell.
Number 5?
My 5's the Bills.
Okay, I can see it.
They didn't play. The Dolphins lost, so that's awesome for them. They have a game lead on the AFC East, and the Dolphins are their biggest threat, which is kind of like I'd love to be a Bills fan for that reason. For Tua Tagovailoa to be my biggest threat, I'd be like, oh, thank God. Like, you know, It's just they have a game lead in the AFC East. They have talent on offense. They have a good wide receiver 1 for once. They play smart defense, not really good defense. Their secondary is really good. They have like 3 guys who are kind of like Pro Bowl-esque. Tre'Davious White's an All-Pro, obviously, but you know Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde are both really good safeties, if you ask me. So,
well, until you put them against D-Hop.
Well. Put anyone against D-Hop. See how they like it.
Yeah, fair.
But they don't have much of a pass rush. Tremaine Edmonds is phenomenal in the middle. It's just they're smart defensively. They're not overbearing. You can't not handle their defense. Yeah. They have another really good young coach, McDermott. He kind of has a great scheme, especially defensively. So I kind of I got to keep him in the middle of the pack for power rankings. I can't keep pushing them lower because I feel like they're going to keep winning and keep making me look stupid if I keep pushing them lower. So I'm going to keep them at 5. I don't think they're going to go any lower than 5 for me.
The Bills?
Yeah, they're the 3rd best team in the AFC.
Not on my list, but...
What, the Ravens are still in your top 10?
No. The Ravens are like number 9. I didn't go all the way to 10, but they're number 9 probably.
Oh, they're out of mine. They're
have
gone.
To look.
I kicked them out.
But now my 3rd best in the AFC is the current front runners of the AFC South. I have the Colts. At number 5. They just outscored the Packers, right? There's not a lot of
even
teams.
In my top. Packers don't play defense.
They play offense, though. There's not a lot of teams that outscore the Packers, and they also just beat their division rivals, the Titans, the last week. To me, you look at that, and that's like, that defense is legit. I don't care. They've had the entire season of solid defense, almost against everyone, right?
But then they played the Packers, and they let up 31.
They did let up 31, but they held
the Steelers haven't let up over 31.
Aaron Jones to 50 yards, below 50 yards. Right?
They didn't run the ball. There was a passing attack all game. All right, but the one thing I'm going to say about the Colts is the reason they're not in my top 10 is because Phillip Rivers is their quarterback.
That's my concerning part. That is my concerning part. But
his playoff record's horrible. And when it gets to January, like, do you trust Phillip Rivers? No.
Not really. But I'm not talking about playoff record. I'm talking about the season.
No.
Power rankings for the season, I have the Colts at number 5. Because
you think they'd beat the Bills?
I think in like If we did multiple matchups, I think in 5 matchups they win 2, the Bills win 3.
One game.
One game. You're
One
right.
game, neutral
One
playing ground,
game,
no home
neutral
field
playing game,
advantage.
no home field advantage. Just like imagine it being like the Super Bowl in a sense where it's off their own field.
Yeah. Bills. Josh Allen outplays
Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers. They have better offensive weapons.
I don't know. I don't think the Colts are somebody you can take out of it.
But the Colts are so like their offense is so like it's like white bread.
It's so easy to read. You're right.
It's like they don't really throw it deep. They don't really do anything wicked impressive. I think Nyheim Hines is like the craziest weapon in football. He's like Alvin Kamara. You have to watch that kid. He catches balls.
I have. He's phenomenal.
He's awesome. I love him, but but their offense, like Michael Pittman's really their number one now. T.Y. Hilton's name hasn't been called at all this year.
Ever. He's disappeared.
Their offensive line is awesome. Quentin Nelson's like the best offensive lineman I've seen in the past 20 years. He's so good, but what they do offensively isn't like even the Steelers do something offensively where you're like, wow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop that this week. Like there's a chance that they blow up on you. I don't think the Colts have that blow up chance unless you're playing the Packers defense.
But they don't need to if the defense holds you down. I don't think they need
which
to
is fine.
Because their defense.
But I don't think
this entire season I've spent doubting that the Colts defense is legitimate. And now I'm like,
finally, it is.
It is. It 100% is. And like I thought the entire season that their defense was sus and that they were just playing easy teams, but it's really not. They're playing. I mean, the Titans are obviously a good team. The Packers are a good team. The Lions have like I don't know about the Lions. They're like 50-50, right? Half the time they're bad, half the time they're stellar.
Good, not stellar.
Good. You're right. Thank you for the correction. Good, not stellar. Good enough to win a game. My point being that I really have faith in that defense. I really like the strength behind that defense and the players that are there because I think they're well coordinated. I think coordination-wise, I think they're one of the best coordinated defenses. So that's just my take on the Colts at 5.
All right, let's do our honorable mentions because our power rankings need to go for 20 minutes
Bills.
again.
For me.
Mine's honorable mentions are the Raiders, Seahawks, and Cardinals. People who didn't make the list for me are the Ravens, the Buccaneers, and the Packers.
Now, is that for your 5 or your 10?
They made the 10, but they didn't make the Ravens didn't make the top 10.
They still make my top 10.
That's fine. They have to. They're your team. You have faith. That's plenty okay. But the Ravens just week by week they're showing more and more flaws offensively and defensively. But long
honorable
season.
Mention definitely the Seahawks though for both of us. Definitely the Packers for both.
They're
of
my
us.
6. So.
Definitely the Buccaneers for both of us. Right? For me, the Bills at least because they didn't make my 5.
The Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Raiders are my 3 next, and then my 9 and my 10 are the Buccaneers and the Packers because they both don't seem to be able to win big games.
That is true. They haven't, and it's a little scary.
So, yep, that's it. What are your 9 and 10? Might I ask?
9 and 10. Well, just kind of going down. I'd have the Bills at 6. I have following that probably in an order depending on how you do it. Seahawks, Cardinals, Bucks, Packers, and then at my 10 because I was up to 9. My 10,
Ravens.
I think I gotta put the Ravens. Yeah, you know what? I don't know actually. The Raiders have been,
that's what I'm saying. It's a flip of the coin for the AFC.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's a divisional game for them. Like
I
the
just
Ravens
can't put
always
the Browns
get up
at
for
10
the
either.
Steelers.
I can't put the Browns at 10.
No,
I don't think
fraud.
they deserve. Yeah, they're
Huge
not.
fraud.
They're 7-3, but they don't play like it.
Every time they play a serious team, they lose. Every time they play a bad team, they win. It's just
so my 10 is either the Raiders or the Ravens, depending on how you look at it.
All right. Next up, we're gonna do current sports events. So. All right, what's up, guys? We're back with our current sports events. What's going on right now?
Spurts.
First up, this one's kind of exciting for me, not so much for Max. The Ravens positive COVID test, and I think the NFL has been winning with the COVID going on. I think there's been no really big outbreak since the Steelers and Titans game back in Week 4.
Mm-hmm. They've
that got
handled it pretty
canceled.
well. Yeah.
I think it's been going this is a huge win for the NFL. I don't know if they're sweeping some stuff under the rug or whatever they're doing, but if they're not, they're doing it right. So Round of applause for the NFL for sure. They're doing really well.
Hmm.
But the Ravens did get bit. The Steelers got bit. They lost Vance McDonald for a little bit there. Ben almost got it. Scary. But the Ravens got bit hard.
Yeah.
They're losing what I think is the best rookie running back in this class, J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins has been
And
doing really well.
Mark Ingram hasn't really been playing that well, but he brings that factor.
He's still that third down heavy, heavy-footed back.
Yeah, you don't sleep on Mark Ingram. You're ready for Mark Ingram. So they're going to be going with Gus Edwards and Justice Hill.
I'm excited to see Justice Hill play, but I wish his first big week, wasn't against the Steelers at all.
Yeah,
because even if the
Well, he
Steelers
might
suck,
play-
which they don't, these two teams playing each other are always tough.
yeah, it screams just physicality. This kid might never want to play football again
I
after this week.
don't.
I'm
take
just
him out.
saying, like, he's gonna get hit, like legit.
I
get
mean, but
hit.
it's an NFL player. They expect to get hit.
I know I would be messing around.
They expect to get hit.
They get hit, yeah. But I don't know. It doesn't ruin the chances for the Ravens, obviously, because they still have Lamar. They still have Gus Edwards, who I think is a really good back. Honestly,
He's been playing well
strong.
this year. Yeah, but he hasn't been
forces-
solely relied on in a single game yet.
But I think the Steelers are definitely going to be ready for the run game this week because they are pissed about what happened last time the Ravens played us,
Yeah,
and the Steelers are at home. And Brandon Williams, the D tackle,
yeah.
he got COVID too. He's out.
I know. That's a big part of our defense too.
Calais Campbell's probably going to be out still with the knee sprain or whatever happened.
It's a weak
I-
front line.
I I don't know. I'm confident. I'm not really confident because the Ravens always fight us. They could have 3 6-round players from the MAC conference in college football playing for them, and it would still be a tough game just because it would be like, we hate these guys. Let's try and beat them, and they'd probably squeak it out. And it would. There's just going to be a lot of aggression in that game. So I think no matter what, it's not going to be pretty. But this losing these 2 guys and the 2 guys on the D line for me is pretty big. But a big point of all this, I think, is that the fact that 2 guys got positive tests and no one else on the team has any is a pretty impressive.
Yeah.
How the NFL is carrying everything out. I think. I don't know if they're
glad
kind
that's
like
the only
that.
people who got it, right? Also, you never want anyone to get COVID at all, but I'm
No,
glad
but
it was
the
only
fact
2
that
people.
Because they have the tracing, the things they put on players. So I think it's really impressive. Honestly, because they were able to track close contacts immediately, quarantine them, test them, get it figured out, and they're good. So the NFL, I think, is doing pretty spectacular in the matter of all what's going on. Plus, they're still making money. So the NFL's like, this is awesome. The NFL is just like on top of the world right now, and in terms of COVID world that we live in. So, your current sports event?
I've got Joe Burrow. That was a
Yeah.
that was a big hit and a big injury. An ACL, an MCL, and structural issues.
Structural
Yeah.
damage. Yeah.
Structural damage to his leg. Like, yeah, he said he'll be back next year, and I hope the best for him, and I hope a speedy recovery. But like, that's a lot. That's a lot
So-
of injury on one leg.
I watch a lot of ESPN. Obviously, this is kind of my world. I love this stuff, as we've said before.
What were
but
they saying?
I forget who it was. I think it was Trent Dilfer. Funny enough, who won the Super Bowl for the Ravens back in 2000, or no, maybe it was, yeah. I think it was
2000.
for yeah. But he was like, when you're a young quarterback, like there are reasons some guys don't last as long, like Carson Palmer. Like he could have been one of the better ones we've ever seen.
But injury after
But
injury
he
after
played for bad teams in the beginning of his career that didn't protect him and didn't put a system around him to make him not get hit as much. Joe Burrow was taking the most hits in the league, and it wasn't close.
No,
I think it was
not by a
him
lot.
and like maybe one other guy, Carson Wentz. I think
Carson Wentz is up there. Yeah, he had like something like 50 sacks already.
that is nuts. I think it was less than that, but
I don't know.
but and they were talking about the scheme of it too, because they're right about this. If you watch the Bengals games, they do a lot of just straight up dropbacks, 3-step drops, regular protection, no 6-man protections, just
Carson
like,
Wentz
it's
has
just-
40 sacks.
40 sacks. Wow.
That's still a lot.
But still, and so what I'm going to say is like you even with the Steelers, when they know we're kind of like outmatched and we have an older quarterback, we get the ball out quick.
Yeah,
Quick
because you have
reads,
to.
like protect him. With Burrow, they just threw it after a 3-step drop, let him go back there because he's young, he's fresh, he's whatever, he's this. He's talented. If you want him to make a quick read, I guarantee you he could do it.
Agreed. Oh, agreed. You saw it in his college performances as well. He's quickly able to analyze the field, which I think was part of the reason he was the number one pick.
Like, you watch that guy play, and he literally looks like he's been in the league for 5 years
There are a
already.
couple rookies this season that look like that, but Joe Burrows definitely falls under the category of one of them.
Cream of the crop. Cream of the crop. Like,
Agreed.
legit, just.
He,
I
he
think Justin Herbert's right there because Justin
but
Herbert's awesome.
Joe Burrow went into a system that hasn't been particularly good, is in a tough division, is in a tough conference. It's like
And they looked competitive.
they look competitive. Not as
And
competitive
he
as
never
other teams,
wavered.
but like yeah, and he's performed well week after week.
So yeah, that's my thing. Going into next year, they need to either bring in obviously a ton of offensive line help or figure out a system that's going to protect this kid. Because if you want him, because he can't take another one of those.
Oh yeah, no,
No way.
not that bad.
Like,
Not
no
anywhere
way.
close to that bad.
If he does, then it's like, you know what, great career. What could have been.
Yeah,
And I don't want that to happen. I love that kid. As much as I'm a Steelers fan and I don't like the Bengals, I really like Joe Burrow. I don't like he's just got that quality.
he's a competitive
Like he can,
performer, and you got to respect that spirit from him.
and I just can't. It makes me a little mad that the Bengals might do this to a second guy because they already did this to Carson Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I just checked again for Joe Burrow because I happen to look at Carson Wentz. Joe Burrow's third right now for sacks with 32. You can't be letting your quarterback get hit 32 times within 11 games.
And it's your guy, Like even the Chargers have a system in place. The Chargers and the Dolphins both have a system in place where it's like either he's going to take a shot downfield quick or he's going to get it out of his hands fast
So
down
like
to a check down.
Yeah.
2-3 reads, no superstar crazy plays. And they might be up there in sacks, but they're not at 32.
Yeah, and they definitely don't have the O-line either to back up the fact that, that they
Neither
want to
the
wait
Dolphins,
a while to throw.
The Dolphins and the Chargers both don't have good O-lines either. And you don't hear us talking about how much their quarterbacks get hit.
Nope.
They just get it out quick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick because he's a little stupid with the ball and he likes to be hero, whatever.
If it's magic or if it's tragic, yeah.
But they with Tua, they're like either delayed handoff, 2-3 reads, or a check down. Quick. Simple, fast. In the O-line, sometimes it's 6-7 guys protecting the quarterback with the back in the backfield just so he has time and protection. And if he has a hit coming, he can maybe brace himself. You saw the hit on Burrow.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Five guys blocking.
Yeah.
Makes me so mad. But anyways,
and you just see this big, like 250-pound, probably heavier lineman just go straight into his leg, right? It wasn't as bad as no, it was probably close to Ronnie Lott's, but like it was almost the same way that Ronnie Lott broke his leg. Like that could have been a broken leg on top of ACL, MCL, and all the other
Ronnie
stuff.
Lott
Or Ronnie Stanley. I'm sorry, not Ronnie Lott.
Oh, Ronnie Stanley. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, Ronnie Stanley.
Lott.
His leg was cut right in half. Well, not in.
You're right.
Like,
I remember that.
It was a similar, it was a similar angle
rolled
that his
up
leg
on.
bent at. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been worse, and it is still pretty bad of everything that happened. So
It's disgusting, and it makes me a little sick. I'm not gonna lie. I never want to see that happen to him again. If it does, then obviously, like I said, it's over.
Right. I think that if like not what happened to Kyler, but like I look at how Kyler's performing right now, and he's in the talks for MVP, obviously below Pat Mahomes a lot. But like if Joe Burrow ended up on a team like Kyler Murray did on the Cardinals, where he's got weapons, he's got a line, he's got all that's going on.
Well, he's got
him.
Kingsbury too. He doesn't have a line. He got hit the most in the NFL last year.
He did, but this year that's why he's in the MVP talks because he's got the line now. So
he still doesn't. But Kingsbury made an adjustment.
Yeah,
it's like I said, it's the scheme of everything.
Yeah,
and he's a little bit more mobile. I don't know, but we can't keep. We got to move on.
I'm just saying. I think that Joe Burrow has the potential to be up there in those talks if he's not on a team 100%. That lets him get hit 32 times within 11 games.
It's the scheme. The coach has to fix it. Mm-hmm. Next, we both have this as our second. It's the Lakers.
The Lakers. Holy.
They are loading up. My dad's a Lakers fan. and it's he's a Steelers fan too. Obviously, it's my household, but he is like the Steelers are gonna go 16-0. The Lakers are gonna repeat. He's kind of like all
I
over the place
mean,
because they're going to. They're
with the
going
team
to.
they have and the pickups they have, Marc Gasol, Dennis Schroeder, Montez Harrell, it's like those are
That's the sixth man of the year and the runner-up for sixth man of the year, Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell.
and he's now going to be the starting point guard on that team, which is
Awesome.
and think about
And they still have Quinn Cook. They still have Quinn Cook on the bench.
yeah, exactly. Think about like going like you're a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, and you're going to lay it up in the rim, and you got to get by Anthony Davis, Marc Gasol, and LeBron, right?
And they have JaVale McGee.
And JaVale.
Still.
No.
That's a great
The
backup
Cavaliers
center.
are trying to get JaVale McGee.
They're not. If the Lakers are anything, if they're smart as anything, they will bring him back because he's a great backup to have. Because they already lost Dwight Howard,
Yeah,
and Dwight Howard was last year the best backup center in the league
agree.
because he backed up JaVale McGee. Like Marc Gasol is great. I don't think he should start anymore. I don't know. I
think he's
a
getting
shooter.
old.
He's thick. He's big. I think he's a really good pickup for them. Don't get me wrong. They're gonna win the whole thing again.
Yeah.
First of all, you only need LeBron and Anthony Davis to win the whole thing.
And if you put even a semi-decent team around them, it's no challenge.
And they've put weapons galore. It's just depth. It's not even weapons. It's depth.
They
Montrezl Harrell
yeah,
is huge.
that is.
He's like Kenneth Faried. He could actually be an all-star on a different team, but he's on the Clippers or he's on the Lakers or and he just wants to win, which is awesome. But
I love guys like
if he were on any other team, he might be the all-star for that team, just because he's so ferocious. Great rebounder. He's not going to shoot the ball well, but he's going to rebound. He's going to play defense, and he can score probably 10 to 12 for you in 25 minutes.
There's just something about looking at your bench, knowing that they're going to be able to keep the game either as close as it is or keep it ahead or, catch up a bit. That's
and then you have two Hall of Fame basketball players ready to come and lead the team.
Exactly. There's something.
And they're both not going to, those guys aren't, they're not going to take like Kawhi takes his whatever mental health days, which I totally get, dude. If you need it, take it, but you don't need to take 20 of them. You don't need to take 20.
Especially LeBron. LeBron is like here, he's ready to grind, he's ready to work, right? He shows up
plays
every day.
72 games a season.
Yep.
He misses 10 maybe. Anthony Davis misses 10 maybe, unless he has like a knee.
I was going to say, sometimes he has an injury, but even then, he's not out for long as well.
And if it is, they're playing the Hornets.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and Anthony Davis can score 45 and they'll beat the Hornets. Yeah. Or LeBron, when Anthony's out, can score 45 and beat the Pelicans.
Schroeder. I just said his name 3 times and I got it wrong then. Now with Dennis Schroeder and like Montez Harrell, they'll score 20 each if LeBron and AD aren't there.
If they get their minutes, they probably could.
They will, yeah.
So no one's beating them. It makes me a little mad because I'm a Celtics fan.
Same.
You don't really follow basketball, but I'm sure you are too, Homer or whatever.
I look at the playoffs and I'm like, yeah, let's go Celtics, right? But like, I obviously know I recognize when a team loads the bench here, and they have. And
not to mention the Hall of Famers. Like we talk about how much they're loading up, and Marc Gasol could be a Hall of Famer if he wins a ring.
Agreed. If he wins a ring,
and he already did
Lakers here, I think he makes the Hall of Fame easily.
And he already won a ring with Toronto, I'm pretty sure.
He did, yeah, when Kawhi was there.
So, I mean, he gets 2. He's probably up there in points, maybe in rebounds. I don't know. Probably one of the better shooting big men. I don't know if he's Hall of Famer. We might be stretching it, but he was an All-Star once or twice, maybe 3 times. So
still a
that's
great player to add to your team.
Yeah, I don't know. The Lakers aren't losing. All right, next up, guys, we're going to get into our fantasy picks for the week, us both being at the bottom of our league, so take this advice lightly.
Second to last in my division.
Yeah, same, but my division is much better than yours, so.
Also fair.
This week I've got, in one league, though, I only have 1 loss, and it's a 15-man or 16-man, so maybe you could take my advice a little bit. That one I'm doing pretty well in.
And I'm a previous 3-time champion, so...
Yeah, it ebbs and flows with fantasy, but this week I have sit Lamar and sit Big Ben. I'm going to talk about this Ravens-Steelers game a lot because this is like, football porn. It's like, you wait for these games when you're a fan of the team, I guess, but
this is the season. This is the game you wait for for the entire season, this is the game you
most
watch.
most fans want to see like Chiefs, Chiefs Seahawks or something like that, something high scoring. But I love these because I'm a Steelers fan, obviously, and we're playing the Ravens on Thursday Night Football. It's Thanksgiving, but this game is going to be ugly, and that's why I say sit Lamar and Ben. Lamar's not going to have a good game just based off what I saw last time we played. They could squeak it out just by playing good defense because it's gonna be ugly.
Neither quarterback
Like,
is going to have an easy time, regardless.
yeah, because it's gonna be like 12-9 final score. I think maybe 17-10. That just because of how much the NFL's changed. It might be 17-10, 21-17, whatever. That might be like the new nitty gritty. But I think both quarterbacks are at least going to throw one interception. It's going to be really close, and I don't know who's going to win. It could really go either way for me because both the Ravens are desperate,
Yeah,
like
this
super
if
desperate.
we need a win and we need it here. If we get a win here, that kind of revalidates our team, especially against the 10-0 Steelers.
Steelers. It does. You don't need revalidation. You just need something to put you back in the like
Right track.
screw power rankings. Like who cares? As long as your team's got personnel and you're in the playoffs and you have a chance, you're in the dance. It doesn't matter. And that's what I'm saying about the Ravens. Like they know like this means we could actually even have a chance at the AFC North first of all, and they have a chance to kind of get themselves into the mix firmly
Especially after
for
two
the
tough
AFC
losses
playoff
against the
picture.
Titans and the Patriots. They need a win here.
Yeah, I agree. But with Ben, I don't know. I think I don't yeah, it's just gonna be ugly. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but where I was trying to add on to it, I actually kind of lost my thought for a second there. But for the Steelers, actually, I was gonna say, sorry, if we win this, another game, if we sweep the Ravens after getting swept last year, this is just crazy momentum. That team's gonna be so fired up, I think, and it's at home. And then we move into a few easy game, I think, and then the Bills on the road. I think we kind of just continue to move this train. This is the biggest test for the Steelers. And you can talk about the Bills being a better team or the Colts being a better team. I'm going to sit here right now and tell you this is going to be the hardest game left on the Steelers schedule. Physically, mentally, whatever, all of it. It's going to be the hardest game for sure, if you ask me. So, yeah, sit Ben, sit Lamar. Low scoring game, ugly game, lot of defense for sure. So that's what I'd say. Maybe start James Conner. I don't know. It might be a lot of running.
I don't think you start anyone from that game from either
Yeah, I
side.
was gonna say that, but then I was like, maybe the Ravens run wild again, so I don't want to advise that. But yeah, I would sit kind of everybody but the defenses maybe,
I don't.
where most of the scoring might come
Yeah,
from.
I was gonna say I might even sit the Ravens defense honestly because it's like I know that it'll be like they're gonna let up some points, but they're also gonna not let them up a ton, right? It'll be a low scoring game. It'll be toughing it out in the mud.
Yeah, I just got a notification. The 25 semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year just got in.
Oh, really? Well,
Got released. Yeah.
we'll talk about that
Uh,
next week.
Well, I'm gonna throw some big ones out there right now that I think was pretty cool. They said Calvin Johnson's name first of all,
That's awesome.
which I didn't.
I'm glad
I
to
didn't
hear
think
it.
they were even gonna consider him. I think it's gonna take a few years for him to get in.
It is.
He should get in.
He should
but it's
get
gonna
in,
take
but
a
it'll
while.
take a bit. There are guys above him that deserve it more right now.
Peyton Manning in, no doubt.
Yep.
Charles Woodson in,
In.
no doubt. So, I thought I'd mention it, but yeah, your fantasy picks.
My fantasy picks, I got two sits as well, or two sits, and then depending on how your league is, the second one's a sit. My first sit is Melvin Gordon. Yes, he had a hot game last week or this past week.
Which was surprising because the Dolphins' defense was supposed to be so good. I thought,
He's had some fantasy wise. He's had some good and bad games. He's had I'd say majority good. He's probably like a top 20 back right now in terms of fantasy. So he's definitely a guy that some people have been starting consistently, getting good weeks out of him. But like Saints defense is no joke. I just want to say it again. Their run defense is strong.
the
right?
run defense is no joke.
Run
Yeah,
defense
the
is
pass
no
defense
joke.
can be a little suspect, but their
But
run
the
defense,
run
I
defense
agree.
is not something you scoff at, especially under Cameron Jordan. 3-time All-Pro team, 5-time Pro Bowler. It's like the 2010s.
A lot of people
team.
forget about him.
He's
Yeah,
a
people
strong
forget
guy.
about him.
He's like when it comes down to it, I don't know if I'd put him in the same category as I would like Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald, but if he's not in that category, he's the smallest step down
He's like
right now.
I don't know.
At least.
He's not a Hall of Famer, but he'll
No.
he'll be a Saints Hall of
Yeah,
Honor.
he'll be the Saints Hall
You
of
know,
Famer,
he'll go
right? In
down in
that
history as
sense.
one of the best Saints players, but he won't be
Agreed.
a Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
Tremendous football player.
Oh yeah, but that once again just reinforcing that you don't running the ball against the Saints is no easy task, which is why
Yeah,
I'm
Melvin's
saying
going to struggle,
sit Melvin Gordon.
I think, and Philip Lindsay. But they have a
Yeah,
weird running attack too
I
because they're
yeah.
splitting carries. It's
I
ugly. I don't.
sometimes they
Yeah,
favor one, sometimes they favor the other. It's a little weird.
I would
Um,
almost sit him every week, but what? That's
I
just
put
me.
him
I
at
wouldn't
flex.
draft
I'm
him.
sure there are people who put him at flex consistently.
In a 15 man like me, yeah, but I
Well,
didn't
yeah,
draft him.
definitely.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
My second one is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now he
yeah,
has
flex
been
bench.
flex bench, and the reason is, I'm gonna let you know now. He's getting between 10 and 15 points. No more than 15, possibly less than 10, but I'd highly doubt it.
They're playing the Buccaneers,
They're
right?
playing the Buccaneers.
They're gonna be pissed.
Yeah. Not only they're
So
pissed, it's just like another defense that's like, if I'm a running back in the NFL, I'm not. There's no way I want to run against Ndamukong
well,
Suh, Devin White,
yeah.
Levante Davis, Jason Pierre-Paul, Shaquille Barrett. Like
They
that is
traded
just
Levante David, I thought. Oh no, no,
no, no.
no,
They
that
still
was
have him.
Quan
Quan
Alexander
Alexander.
got
Yeah.
traded. I'm sorry,
Um,
but
that's
what I
not
was
the
going to
defense
say,
I'd want to run against.
yeah, about the Saints and the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I think they have great run defenses, but there are better ones like the Colts
Oh,
and the
agreed.
Steelers. But
Agreed.
they didn't have to play Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and the Titans. You know, they didn't have to play all these run heavy teams like they do in
Cardinals
the
don't also
AFC.
run heavy.
Everyone runs in the NFC, or everyone throws in the NFC. Everyone runs in the AFC, except for the Chiefs, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Well, the
you know, it's
Chiefs.
just
That's why I'm saying that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to get like 10 points, is because like he's one of the better receiving backs in the
yeah,
league as well. So like that's
yeah,
why I think you either flex him or you bench him, right? If you think you have someone who's going to get more than 10 points, I think you put him over Clyde Edwards-Helaire because he's going to get
yeah.
5 receptions, maybe 30 yards, but he's only going to get 30 to 50 rushing yards.
Yeah, well, you saw it last week too. Le'Veon Bell stole a touchdown from him
Yeah, that's
because he can't punch it in on the goal line.
no, he cannot. He's one of I wouldn't say the worst red zone back, but he doesn't.
He's
get it
like
done in the red zone.
5'10", weighs 210 pounds. It's almost like Ryan Shazier playing middle linebacker. He was
Yeah.
too skinny. He's gonna get hurt, and it happened in a really traumatic way. I totally get it. I don't even like to talk about it, but there are guys who are too small for that position. Darren Sproles never really stuck to a team because he was 5'9". He was great. Don't get me wrong. I actually think he should be a Hall of Famer, honestly, because he was kind of tremendous for so many years for so many teams, and he won. But at the same time, you know, you don't dominate when you're
No.
too small.
Yeah.
You find a new position, maybe you find a new. But for those guys, you know,
I
when
mean,
you're
some
5'9",
guys manage to do it because
Barry Sanders
Barry
is a
Sanders.
very rare,
Yeah,
very
there's a
rare.
case. But regardless,
Yeah.
I think because I know there are plenty of people just like you put him in the starting lineup and you just don't touch him because that's what he's been able to do. But this week, I think you really take a second look at
Yeah,
at
I think
CEH.
he was a little bit of a bust of a first round pick. CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's been good, don't get me wrong, but he's not good for 25 points a week like a first rounder usually is. Like Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, you know, D Hop.
I still think I wouldn't say he's a bust.
Second rounder. He's a second round pick.
I don't even know if I'd say that. I'd say late first. I would not put him at second.
I would pick him in the second. I'm not drafting him. The Chiefs offense, unless you're Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, or Tyreek Hill, no thanks.
That's fair, right? He's not the first target, and he's not a back
He's the
who-
third. He's the third.
Yeah. Regardless, he's not a back who you rely on to successfully play, like 20 attempts, 20 rushing
Yeah.
attempts and do solid every one.
My thing is, when you're drafting in the first round of the fantasy draft, you are picking like, all right, this guy's going to win me a fantasy league. When it comes down to the
Agreed.
playoffs, this guy's scoring 25.
Agreed.
He's winning me the league. You don't draft like, yeah, he'll get me 12-5 a week. That's second and third. That's maybe even fourth and fifth if you're in an 8-man like our friend group, our hometown one. But you don't like if you draft that in the first round, it better be a 16-man league.
Yeah, that better.
I would draft him in the first round of a 16-man league.
Agreed.
That's only time.
And once again, just want to restate the fact that the Bucks defense, their run defense is not something to play against. So I'm saying
So yeah,
sit Clyde
yeah,
Edwards-Helaire.
agreed. Their front seven scary.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Sit, flex, whatever. Definitely don't put him at. Expect him to get big numbers.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to breakout players next, guys. Next up, guys, we got breakout players. This week I've got Darius Williams. Not a lot of people. I mean, every time we talk about these guys, I say not a lot of people know him, but legit people don't know this guy. He's the number 2 corner for the Rams. So opposite Jalen Ramsey, kind of under the radar guy. And this defense is slow. Yeah, exactly. And this guy's been playing really good football. He picked off Russell Wilson twice, and we'll pull up the clips. But these were both really kind of incredible interceptions against Russell Wilson, I think. And then, like you said, we were talking about the Rams earlier, in both against Russell Wilson and against Tom Brady, under 250 passing yards, turnovers. The Rams defense has been quite tremendous, I think. And it's in large part due to the back end of the defense, Jalen Ramsey and this Darius Williams kid. And I think it might be kind of the Jalen Ramsey effect, because when he played with AJ Boye in Jacksonville, that kid was like, oh, all pro.
Yeah.
Oh, Pro Bowler. You know, a little bit. Even their third guy, he went to the Pro Bowl.
He did.
As a slot corner.
It was, AJ Boye, Jalen Ramsey, and who else? It was...
Number 22. Can't remember his name.
Nope, can't remember his name either.
But he slot corner, Pro Bowl.
Yeah, immediately.
They had like 7 guys from that defense. And this is like, Hall of Fame corner stuff. Everyone around you on that defense is better now. Because your side of the field
is good.
Out of the game.
Yeah, it's gone.
Out of the game. So, but what I was going to say is he's going to get a huge payday after he leaves the Rams now, just like AJ Boye did when he went to the Broncos.
Yeah.
That's kind of my main point here is like, I think he's playing really well. You can see it in the tape. He's just athletic. He's wiry. He's fast. He kind of makes these like springy plays, almost like he's not there, but then he recovers. So he's like a bend, don't break corner. He's not glue. He's not sticking to you. He kind of reads the quarterback, tries to make a play, and it might get him hurt sometimes, like Marcus Peters. But other than that, I think he's just tremendously
got youth
playing.
On his side compared to Marcus Peters right now.
Marcus Peters is only in his 5th year in the league.
I thought he was like 30 now. Is he not?
No.
Oh.
No. Not 30 yet. Maybe 2 or 3 years under.
He's definitely got some athleticism over Marcus Peters, so he's able to...
Yeah. Well, I think Marcus Peters is a big time corner or a burnt corner.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no in between. He either makes the crazy play or he F's up big time.
Which is why he complements Marlon Humphrey so well. Right?
Yes, because he can make the big play and he can cover a number 2, but, line up Antonio Brown against him. Or I shouldn't say that anymore I'm just used to saying that, I guess. Julio Jones. Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
Keenan
Allen, DeAndre Hopkins. Right? Any of those guys against Marcus Peters, they're burning him.
For 30 plays, that is. Maybe not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But 30 plays, they're getting their fair share.
Yeah.
Against Marlon Humphrey, different story. He's sticky. He's aggressive, he's hard, But Darius Williams, Jalen Ramsey on the other side of the field, you're like, I'm not even worried. I don't have to help him. I'm watching the man in front of me. They hardly play zone because they don't have to. They can play man-to-man all day. And this kid's getting the job done. Like I said, those 2 picks we just showed him against Russell Wilson, absolutely tremendous. I think this defense is reaching heights that I didn't expect, basically was what I'm trying to say. And I didn't expect this number 31 to come out of nowhere. Didn't know who he was before the season. Blowing me away so far. So keep an eye out for him, that's for sure. I wouldn't want to play him.
Good thing we're not in the NFL. So then now that you're wrapped up there, my breakout player, and first time we're doing an offensive lineman, Tristan Wirfs.
Oh,
Tristan Wirfs.
He should be
drafted by the Bucks.
He should be the offensive rookie of the year. Because
offensive
I saw
linemen aren't going to win it, but
exactly. But I saw like Quentin Nelson should have won it.
Oh yeah,
but I saw this thing. Someone was talking about it. Like, if you look at, he's like the best graded pass rush or pass blocking tackle in the NFL.
Right now, yeah, he has 682 snaps played, and he's let up 1 sack against Khalil Mack. Right? It's like If you're gonna let
Yeah,
up one against anyone, Khalil Mack is definitely someone who's hard to block.
yeah, I agree, but it was just like he has the best PFF. Like I don't follow PFF grades a lot. I don't think they're that big a deal, but he has the best PFF grade for tackles in
Which is
pass blocking.
even if you don't care about PFF, being the best tackle or one of the best tackle in the league right now as a rookie, that's someone you keep for the rest of your
Yeah,
franchise. Hopefully, if you can pay him.
yeah,
But like
and that's why I say he should win. That's why I say he should win Offensive Rookie of the Year, is because him at that position, he's dominating at such a high level compared to like they're playing well at quarterback. They're not
yeah,
winning a ton. They're not like they're dominating, I would say, in some phases of the game, but this kid seems to be at all
constantly,
phases a
constantly.
hit,
Oh
a
yeah.
total hit in the draft.
Well, like
So
Tom Brady, obviously the quarterback, taking the snap behind Tristan Wirfs is one of the least sacked quarterbacks right now with only 15 sacks. And
yeah,
a huge part of that is Tristan Wirfs. And like it's not even like, oh well, he's played some bad rushers. It's like he's played against Cameron Jordan, he's played against Khalil Mack, he's played against Bradley Chubb, and he's played against Aaron Donald. Right?
yeah.
Those are no
Cam
slouches.
Jordan twice.
Cameron Jordan twice. That's right. And those are no slouches. And he's let up one sack to Khalil Mack, and that's it. That amazes me, especially as a rookie, right? And
Yeah, and they definitely target him. They definitely let's
yeah.
line up against the rookie a few times. Let
Yeah.
me give this kid a run for his money.
you've
Well,
seen
Aaron
it.
Donald probably not because he's mainly in the middle, but the edge rushers you mentioned
Yeah.
quite clearly. But yeah, I agree. I think they should start giving a little bit more love to the offensive linemen.
Agreed.
I love the big guys.
Marshall Yonda.
I love.
I loved him.
You have his jersey, like
I do.
we love O linemen in this podcast, but I think that they don't get enough respect at all. That kid should definitely be at least talked about for Offensive Rookie of the Year. People don't say it. I think you should say it because everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Saquon ran for this many yards when he won it," or actually, he didn't win it.
No,
Baker
he
Mayfield
not.
did,
Baker
which
did.
is ridiculous.
Well,
Ridiculous.
That season, his rookie season, he played incredibly, but then we won't talk about the rest. But like, yeah, it's hard because there aren't really necessarily like stats for offensive linemen like there are rushing yards, passing yards, receiving yards, right? But like you don't see
Yeah.
it. But this kid is next level. He's next level,
Yeah.
I'd say, in comparison to almost any other rookie right now.
And what's nuts is he was like the fourth or fifth tackle taken.
Yeah, he was not first.
Andrew Thomas, Mackay Becton, and that kid who went to the Browns, who's pretty good, Jedrick Wills. But none of them, I think, shine a light anywhere near
No.
Tristan Wirfs. So
Yeah, there was
I
a
see his,
lot of
I see his
offensive
girlfriend a lot on TikTok too. Tristan Wirfs' girlfriend, she's all over TikTok.
Oh,
She's always
really?
posting videos about like how much he eats or like before game days and stuff. It's pretty funny.
That's right. I have seen that, and you just see him
Yeah.
have like 7 meals a day. But like,
Yeah,
he's huge.
it's
It's impressive.
his girlfriend's pretty good looking too. Well, obviously he's an NFLer, but
Regardless,
Yeah, I don't know.
Tristan Wirfs, my breakout player. He's been stellar all season, and he's been blocking well for Tom Brady all season.
yeah,
So.
yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to game of the week next. We'll finish it up there. All right, last up this week, we got our game picks of the week, what we think is going to be, best watches for the weekend and for Thursday night, of course. But it's our favorite segment. And once again, last week, I had a great call out. The Rams and the Bucks. Great pick. I think it was a really tight game, and the Rams came out on top. I told you it was going to have some serious implications for playoffs, and the Rams wowed. They wowed on national television, so...
I mean,
Monday night game.
Seahawks Cardinals was no slouch either. It's a 1 touchdown
No.
game, Thursday game. It was tight.
It was definitely a close battle, but let us know down below what you guys think was the winner for game pick of the week, as always. So this week I'm gonna have Ravens Steelers on Thursday night. We've been talking about it all show. Ugly, ugly, ugly. My only comment I have underneath this thing, and it might not win me game pick of the week. I'm not gonna lie. Most people might turn it off. Might be like, I'm gonna go to bed at 9:00. But for me, it's just gonna be football porn. As I said before, it is just people who really love football are gonna watch this and be like, oh my god, Steelers Ravens.
People
This
who
is
like
awesome.
older games in which
You
heavy
know, like-
defenses, tough.
You think of it makes me think of 2010 with like Troy Polamalu picking up Joe Flacco and all those games. Terrell Suggs sacking Ben
Ben
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger, yeah.
it's just those awesome classic games that you just can't get enough of, I feel like. And it just gives me that feeling, you're going to have the intro because it's going to be a night game. It's going to be a primetime game. They're going to have the sick intros going into it. They're going to have the hype up videos for it and all that stuff. It's going to be, and the implications are massive. One team is going to be rolling through it, and another team is going to be fighting for their lives going into the playoffs. It's a statement game for both teams. If the Steelers can sweep the Ravens, impressive. If the Ravens can stay alive and in the fight, also impressive, beating an undefeated team. So for me, it's just
Also,
it means a lot.
It's the biggest rivalry in football, hands down.
And it used to be the Packers and the Bears, but it's a joke now. It's one-sided.
Yeah.
The Ravens and the Steelers, ever since the Ravens became a team in, what was it, 1996, I think it was, when they drafted Jonathan Ogden.
Yeah. But they got him, 96 or 97.
Yeah, whatever it was. Ever since then, it's been competitive because they both, in the Ravens right off the bat, they won in 2000, a Super Bowl.
4 years after the team was made.
Exactly, and so ever since then, both teams hate each other, and it's always a dogfight, And I think that the series is split right down the middle. I think the Steelers might have a win more,
just a bit,
a win or two more, whatever it is.
This last year brought it a lot closer, but if the Steelers sweep
suck
again, then
I think we have a 2-game lead.
Yeah.
I actually think it tied after last year, but regardless, and it's just every year you get the best out of both teams when they play each other. Hatred. It's the only word I can use to describe it is hatred. It's legit hatred. You think about Joey Porter getting onto the Ravens bus after beating them, asking for a fight with Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
You think about these guys. It won't happen this year like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. There's not that same level.
I think when Joe Flacco was no longer on the team, that definitely lowered the tenacity of their rivalry.
I think it's when you guys lost Suggs.
When you lost Suggs, Suggs was pretty big.
All those guys on the defense what mattered, and it's not the same anymore, but it's still there.
Yeah, it'll always be there. You could see by last game. Last game it was a 1-touchdown game.
Yeah, hate each other, but yeah, that's my game of the week. Watch it if you love the nitty gritty, man. This is all you, and it is all me. I'm telling you that right now. It's what I love about football. So your pick?
My pick is I've got probably the other game in which if you're not a Steelers or Ravens fan, if you're anyone in the league's fan, you're watching this game when it comes on, and that's the Chiefs Bucks.
What is that Sunday night?
That is Sunday at 4:30 for us. 4:30.
It's not the prime time.
It is not. It's not prime time, which is ridiculous.
That is stupid. They should flex it. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, people are going to be watching football for 8 hours straight that day. As per usual.
Legit.
But for them, this is, I wouldn't say the biggest game of the year for them, but this is that high point, right? Because both the Bucks and the Chiefs, this is going to be their last tough game before the rest of the season, because the Bucks face the Vikings, the Falcons, and the Lions. The Chiefs face, other than the Saints, they face the Broncos, the Dolphins, the Falcons, and the Chargers. Right? For both of them, this is their big game. This is their game before the season ends to just not one last hurrah, but this is their tough opponent for the end of the year. This is the game they're looking at, 2 weeks ahead of time, and they're like, these are the guys we got to beat. The Bucks, the Chiefs, obviously, they really want to win this game. They really need to win this game. Not need to as much as the Bucks do, but the Chiefs continue showing their dominance. They win this game. Versus the Bucks, they just came off a tough loss against the Rams, right? And for them, an even tougher loss, 2 weeks ago, just before the Panthers game when they were against the Saints, right? This is going to be their third tough opponent within 4 weeks. They want to win this one, right? They want to show their prowess here.
If the Bucks beat the Chiefs, that
changes everything.
This is just coming from Ravens and Steelers fans. We'd be pretty elated. We'd be pretty happy because the Steelers. It's a big game for the Steelers because if we lose against the Ravens and the Chiefs win, then I think they might take the 1 seed, and we can't have that happen as a Steelers fan. It can't happen. So, I don't know. But you're right. Let's not talk about Ravens or Steelers right now. But You're right about everything that you just said. I think this is the biggest test for the Chiefs this year because everyone, like I said, talks about how the Steelers don't win by a lot. The Chiefs don't win by a lot. They kind of do the same thing, but they just score more points. So everyone's
Agreed.
like, oh, the Chiefs. But when they're playing the Buccaneers, I don't know if they're going to get stopped more because the Buccaneers didn't play really good defense last night,
Or if this is gonna be an
or
offensive shootout.
or yeah, I don't know what it could really go either way for me. I think it might go offensive shootout more than the other one.
The Bucks need to play solid defense this week because there's almost no stopping Pat Mahomes, right?
And if you
You've
think
got to stop the Chiefs offense enough that your Bucks offense can keep up with them.
Yeah, and if you think that Tom Brady hasn't had this scheduled or have this circled on his schedule for the past like month, he's been waiting.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh man, let me get my hands on Pat Mahomes. Like, I can't wait."
Is
He's like,
literally
let me take care of this
the
kid's
best
team
youngest quarterback versus the best now oldest quarterback. Just
ever. The best quarterback ever
Ever.
versus the best quarterback right now.
just going at it. That's a game to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, it's like when Lamar plays Pat, or when Deshaun plays Pat, or when Kyler plays Pat, or Russ and
Right.
Kyler. It's a marquee matchup with it, whether it be with a young guy and an old guy, or an old guy and an old guy, or a young guy and a young guy.
Regardless, two incredible quarterbacks are
But
going
Brady
at it
is
this week. Yeah.
angry about this game. Brady's like, I want to beat this kid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat this kid. Is basically what he's saying.
So, I mean, I've still got the Chiefs personally winning this one.
Yeah,
But
I do too.
I think it'll be a really close showdown, closer than most
Yeah.
of their other games, which have been close as is. Most of the Chiefs games are within a touchdown or two. So I don't know.
Everyone plays them tough. Like I said before, everyone shows up to the Chiefs or shows up to the Steelers in the same way. We want to beat these guys more than we want to beat other guys because they're the top dogs. They're like, this is the game that we're gonna actually wake up for because these guys are the best, and we're gonna show them why they aren't. It's that game that teams are just like, F these guys, let's do it. They come ready to fight as much as they can, almost like they would a divisional game.
Yeah,
You know,
because like we mentioned,
yeah.
this is their last tough game of the season. They both
So.
want to come out knowing that they beat their last tough opponent here.
All right, well, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below anything you think we can do better. Thanks for sticking with us even through the COVID operations. Hopefully,
Hopefully we'll be
I didn't
together
mind it
soon.
that much.
It wasn't
I-
bad. No, it was.
No,
pretty
I
good.
didn't. A comfort of my own room, I actually didn't mind it that much. But all right, thanks, guys. That's it for this week. Check in next time.